chairs fly in the air. Masked crusaders twisting fates, game legends and rookies chasing the flame. Was it the heel or a botch finish move? The plots of we dissect every groove. From the top rope to the mind bone brawl, Scalz breaks it down, we're answering the call. Off the top, where the mysteries collide, theories wrestled, secrets beyond hide. Flipping the truth in the ring.
Hey everybody, welcome in. I'm Scalz. I'm coming to you with another edition of Theories with Scalz. This is the first one I have done since I did one on the women's tag team belts, which still seems to be true, as Jade did get hurt while holding them. So I just want to thank everybody for stopping by. Make sure you like, subscribe, put notifications on so you get notified of when our new videos are. Make sure you share this. Anything that you do helps us. But let's get into this. So for the past year and 3 months plus, I have been tracking WWE and AEW title matches on TV. So I'm not taking any house shows into account, any live events. I am not for AEW. I am not doing ROH matches. I never watch any of that programming, so I'm not taking that into account. This is based off of AEW Rampage, Dynamite, Collision, and pay-per-views, and this is based off of WWE Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and PLEs. Okay, um, throughout the entire year, I track it based off of every match that has happened. It is based off of who the champion is at the time, who enters into the match first, second, and so forth. I track who wins the matches. I track when there are title changes. During the year of 2024, when I started on January 1st of 2024 and tracked this throughout the entire year. As you can see, this is exactly how I track it. I have everything color coded. I mark the green here is for when a title change occurs. Um, I have up to 6 entrants because typically there are not more than 6 entrants in a match. Anytime there is like a Money in a Bank ladder match or a Casino Royale match, any of those, I have yet to see any more than 6. So typically 6 is where I do stop at. And then I do track it based off if it was a multi-man match or if it was a singles match. So a singles match to me constitutes one-on-one or two-on-two. Multi-man is any more than 3 people, 3 different competitors in the match. So let's get started and let's head over to my other tracking. And this is everything that is up to date. So let's start off with WWE. So WWE in 2024 had 185 championship matches. Out of those matches, the majority of those people came out in the second position. They came out and it was a 60%, 60.54% of the time that they came out in the second position. Um, that was where the winners have come from. There has never been a winner from any fifth spot in any match that they had. The second most popular was first, obviously, because most majority of the matches are singles or multi-man. So you obviously going to get the first or the second place as the majority of the winners. For title changes, there was 44 title changes out of the 185 matches, which puts us at a 23.78% chance of a title change happening. So a 1 in 4 chance essentially that there's going to be a title change on any given title match that you see. From that, the majority of the winners came from the number 1 spot. They were 65.79%. So almost 2/3 of the winners came from the number 1 spot, with 11 coming from the second position, 1 from third, 1 from fourth, and 1 from the sixth. The sixth is the only person that came out in the sixth position in any of those matches. Based off of this, for the singles matches, 40 of the title changes happened in singles matches, with only 4 of them occurring in multi-man matches. So only 9% of the title changes happen in matches that contain 3 or more different competitors. Moving on to 2025 so far. So this goes from the beginning of the year up until SmackDown last night. This is recorded on March 22nd. So SmackDown on March 21st would be the last one that is calculated. There's been 48 title matches this year, with 26 winners coming from the second position, which is 54.17%. So it's down from last year, meaning that the number 1 spot is actually gaining momentum on this. This year, there's been 13 title changes out of those 48 matches, and that puts us at 27.8%, 0.08%. So it's a up from last year. which is significant because it is showing that WWE is trying to change how they do things. Um, so 13 title changes in 48 matches. 10 of those came from the first position, with 3 coming in the second. And 12 out of the 13 title changes have happened in singles matches. So only 7.69% of the title changes have come in a multi-man match. Now, if I calculate all this together going from January 1st last year until March 21st yesterday, there's been a total of 233 title matches within WWE. 138 of those winners, which is just under 60%, have come from the number 2 spot. 79 of those winners have come from the first spot, which is 33.91%. So if you base that off of what was from last year, you see those numbers have risen a little bit in the first position. That's because of what's been going on so far this year. 57 title changes overall puts us at 24.46% chance of a title change happening. So 1 out of every 5 matches. 1 out of every 4 matches, sorry, constitutes that there's a possible title change happening. And the majority of those winners in WWE come from the number 1 spot, with 40 out of the 57 title changes happening, putting it at 70.18%. And 52 of those 57 title changes all happen in singles matches. So this is WWE. I did this for AEW as well. I'm going to go into that in a moment. But to me, this is significant because this shows that you can almost predict when someone is going to win. In WWE, I have noticed that, what got me starting to track all this was I did notice that a lot of the winners came from the number 1 position when the title change did happen. So I wanted to track and see what's going on with this. So it actually is very intriguing to me. I'm a numbers person, so I do love things like this. But let's head over to AEW now. So, like I said, again, this does not count any ROH tapings. So I didn't count any of that, anything that happened to do with Rampage, Collision, Dynamite, or pay per views. So in 2024, the AEW only had 133 title matches, with the majority of the winners coming from the number 1 position, which is 73 winners, 54.89%. So this one is a little more balanced between 1 and 2 because they do have a lot of their champions come out first in the matches, which to me significant significant because the second person that comes out should always be your champion in my eyes. It's more impactful. It's a more significant role. It makes you look like you're staring down the challenger as soon as you walk out. So to me, that is significant. 52 winners came from the number 2 spot with a 39.1% chance. 29 title changes out of the 133 matches, which means that we are less likely to see a title change happen in AEW than in WWE. There's about a little over a 1.1 in 5 chance that you're going to see a title change happen. And 25 out of those 29 came from the number 1 spot. So when a champion doesn't come out first, you're almost every time going to get a title change. That is something I'm going to track this year, and going back and looking, is how many times the champion came out first when they won and how many times they came out first when they lost. But 25 out of the 29 chances, it's an 82.61% chance that the title change is going to happen from the number 1 position. So 4 out of 5 winners came from that number 1 spot. 26 out of the 29 were singles matches, which is almost 90%, and 3 out of 29 were multi-man, which is 10%, which is higher up than what WWE is. So in 2025 so far, we've only had 24 title matches for AEW. 24 in 3.5 months. 17 of those winners came from the number 2 spot, which is 70.83%, and 5 came from the first spot. Only 3 title changes happened so far this year. To me, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if that's building the stories and trying to make the belts more significant. I don't know. 3 title changes out of 24 matches, that's a 1 in 8. So 1 out of every 8 matches, you're gonna see a title change. So that's 12.5%, like, almost insignificant, almost never happening. You should not expect going into any pay-per-view that there's gonna be any title changes in AEW based off of my metrics from what I have been analyzing for the last year and almost a year and 3 full months. 2 winners came from the first spot, 1 winner came from the second. Again, this is on par with what I was tracking in 2024. Puts us at a 66.67% chance of the winner coming from the first spot. All three of those title changes were in singles matches. Nothing was done in a multi-man match. Now, if we're basing it overall, 157 matches total, 78 came from the first spot, 69 came from the second. So they are pretty almost even. It's only a 9 spot difference. So first place is 49.68%, second place is 43.95%. So it's pretty much a toss up whoever's going to win the match. But it depends on where the champion comes out. That's where you're going to be able to try and figure out what's been going on with it, because when the title change does happen, 27 of those title changes out of 32 came from the number 1 spot. 3 came from the second, 1 from third, 1 from sixth. There's never been a title change from the 4 or 5 spot in AEW. 29 out of 32 matches and or singles matches, 3 of those were a multi-man match. So this gives you 90% title changes coming from the singles matches. So, like I was saying, this is pretty I enjoy looking at things like this. I like seeing what's going on with these. I like to be able to track it. Again, this is how I do it. I use a spreadsheet that I made up that I keep tracking. I add new things into it every year so I can see different results. But let me know your thoughts on this. What do you think about this? Does this intrigue you? Is this something you want me to do more of? Things like this with the analytics. Um, Again, drop some comments below, like the video, share it, and I'll see you all soon. Thank everybody for stopping by. Have a great day.